I got to get this up and down to win the U.S. Open.
You have to add Rory in there as well, right?
Yeah.
Like for Bryson, he gets up and down to beat Rory McIlroy.
Mm-hmm.
JJ, nothing against the guys that he was fighting with, but you trust you're going to two-putt from 65 feet more often than not.
Yeah, especially when you're on top of the U.S. Open. Like, chances are things have been going your way throughout the course of the week.
Getting up and down from a 55-yard bunker shot to win a U.S. Open was a more skillful play by Bryson DeChambeau.
Yeah.
What's unique about it, and the reason I want to bring it up, is because Spawn actually gained more strokes on the putt than Bryson did on the bunker shot, which is kind of unique. His bunker shot at Pinehurst gained plus 0.94 shots on the field.
Okay.
Spawn's putt gained 1.24. Just to put in perspective how...
It's probably the difference between going in and not going in.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, but both were incredible shots.
Yes.
Both were incredible finishes.
Yes.
And the U.S. Open, man, you go to these iconic courses, and it doesn't matter who wins, you're going to get a show, and we certainly got that again.
I mean, and that's what, you mentioned it was a pillow fight, but guys are just fighting for their damn lives out there on Sunday.
Yeah, it was a bloody pillow fight.
Yeah, it was. At one point, I think 5 guys were tied for the lead at 1 over.
Yeah.
I think that's what it was. And, Sam Burns just kind of faded. Same thing with Adam Scott. They just, after coming out of the weather delay, they just couldn't get out of their own way. I don't know if I saw Adam Scott hit a good shot after the weather delay.
I know I texted this to you going into Sunday, but I really wanted Adam Scott to win this.
Yeah.
He's said it that he thinks one more major championship gets him into the Hall of Fame. This was his 96th consecutive major participated in.
Yeah.
Unbelievable. I wanted Hovland if it wasn't going to be Adam Scott because I felt like he is probably the best player without one at this point.
Yeah.
And I think he's great theater. I think he's a great soundbite, and I want to know what his winning press conference was going to sound like more than anything. That was just
he's
he's an entertainer behind the mic, even though he doesn't intend to be. He's just so open. He's almost too open, but he's become much more likable over the years, and I appreciate kind of the mental roller coaster that Victor Hovland brings us on. Very Spiethian.
Yeah, he is just so incredibly open, but he hasn't said anything, and we might get into Rory at some point today. But when he's been open, he hasn't said anything where you go, that's not the way I would have put it.
Yeah,
just everything with Victor.
He makes you think.
Yeah, we put it. Part of the Open. Yeah, we're golfers. We're weird. Just things when he says things like that, or he's talking about. They're asking him how he's playing, and he's just saying, yeah, I'm not really worried about that. I just want to know, I want the ball to go where I'm looking. I want the ball to come out of the window. But also by saying that, you can kind of see, if the ball's going where he's looking, everything else kind of takes care of itself. So that's how he's gauging how well he's swinging it. But also talking about, even though winning this year proved to him that even though his swing doesn't feel like he wants it to, that his iron play is still good enough, and he can trust it to be good enough to compete at the highest of levels, and just trying to trust that and going through all the different things that he goes through, and he likes to tinker and all these different things. He's a very endearing character in golf right now.
I agree. I also want to give a shout out to Bob McIntyre. I thought his performance on Sunday is going to get lost, and one of the images that's going to be burned in my head was.
In fairness, NBC also lost him.
Yeah,
I didn't see him too much on my television screen.
Tough with the weather delay and the way that he played, and he kind of backdoored his way into serious contention. The shot that NBC did get of him clapping from the scores table as JJ made the putt, that's awesome.
His reaction and then Tyrrell's reaction.
Tyrrell in the middle of his press conference after the round, watching the monitor and hearing the roar of the JJ Spawn putt.
And Tyrrell, understandably, it's hard to put a finger on Tyrrell. It honestly is, because I dislike Tyrrell Hatton the golfer. I think I would really like Tyrrell Hatton the dude.
Oh, yeah.
If that makes sense, right? Just the way...
The guy you'd want in your foursome because he'd entertain the hell out of you.
But the way he acts, and he had missed a putt on 16, like, and was obviously gutted by that because he stuffed one in there with a 4-iron, and then he goes bogey to finish at 3 over par. So he knows he's not even going to be in a playoff if there is one because Robert McIntyre was already in the clubhouse. But just like the way he reacts to bad shots and blames everything else, like on the golf course, I find him exhausting.
Yeah,
it's like the way he just like snapped out of being this grumpy dude in the middle of his press conference. Because he just saw J.J. Spawn make this incredible putt and go,
oh, incredible.
Yeah, I hold it, didn't he? And all of a sudden he just has this big smile on his face like, oh, that was just really cool. What just happened? That was awesome. He could recognize that in the moment. And honestly, when he talks in the media, like before rounds, I find him interesting.
Yeah.
Like after rounds when he's throwing his fits and calling Augusta not a very good golf course, that grows old on me. But the Tyrrell Hatton Monday through Wednesday at a golf tournament is fascinating. So I can't quite put my finger on what exactly he is.
I think he's a perfect example of the guy you want on your team, but the guy you don't want to face. Like he's probably great inside that Team Europe locker room.
Oh yeah. He's been a pain in my ass for way too long as a USA Ryder Cup fan.
If you want a little bit more, I would almost compare him to like a John McEnroe who used to throw his racket and curse and yell, and it was just all part of the act. And then off the court, he's kind of an endearing person.
Yeah.
I think that's kind of similar. A lot of these guys turn into somebody different. Roger Federer was like that for a lot of his tennis career before he started winning, multiple major championships. And I like Tyrrell. I don't think everybody can be Jordan Spieth, and I think that it's good to have different personalities on the golf course. It's entertaining. It's good theater. It's a great mic'd up opportunity. I mean, you got to have – I don't want to even call him a villain because I don't dislike him in the way that I dislike Patrick Reed.
Sure.
But
I just dislike his antics because, it's just like part of his process to just like blame somebody other than himself or something other than himself.
A lot of golfers are
I understand that, but like
he does it in a whiny way, which could probably be improved. But like we all have been the guy who's like, club that terrible lie. Oh, it must have been the embedded water.
Oh, that was different guy.
Yeah.
Who did get screwed, by the way? Should have gotten relief.
Yeah.
Look, we can address that quickly with Sam Burns. I will say this.
Standing water? What's the proper term for it?
They changed the terminology, I think, when they changed like the term. Like if you're in a match, it's not all square anymore. It's just tied and Dornaby's gone and all these different things. So they changed some of the terminology. It used to be casual water. Now it's, I don't know if it's standing water or temporary water maybe.
Yeah.
But Kyle Porter from The Normal Sport, which is his own newsletter, went out there and kind of took some steps. Based on the way I understood that rule, maybe I've been playing the rule wrong all along. He should have gotten relief. That being said, he was already in full eject mode, and I don't think getting a drop there would have ultimately changed the tournament or saved him and suddenly vaults him to the top of the leaderboard.
You got two officials who come over and give it a ruling.
Pretty quickly, too. Pretty quickly and just, you just got to
go golf your ball. It's the elements. It's raining. It's part of it. You never like to see that happen, but it kind of makes me think of the PGA Championship and the mud balls.
Yeah.
It's the same type of conversation. If you're that uncertain about what your ball is sitting in, play a different shot.
Yeah, you can't hit the stock shot there. Which is why, again, I can feel like he got a bad ruling there.
Yeah.
But ultimately,
we're playing a U.S. Open. You got to be creative in some spots.
You cost yourself.
And I think the train was already off the tracks at that point, to your point.
Yeah.
But you know what's fun about this conversation we're having? We've talked about, obviously, the winner, J.J. Spawn, Adam Scott, Victor Hovland, Sam Burns, Tyrrell Hatton, Bob McIntyre. And we had a lot of fun, man. We haven't mentioned Scotty. We haven't mentioned Rory. We haven't mentioned Xander or Bryson. I didn't know we could have this much fun without them. I didn't think that this type of energy could come from us without the superstars rising, which is what we both anticipated would happen this week.
But also, Scotty was still there.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Sure.
As you saw the big numbers that, JJ starts 5 in a row. And Burns hung into it for a while, and then before the rain delay, he was starting to back it up. And as everybody's getting back closer to par, and Scotty makes the turn at 35, so he's even and he's at 4 over. I thought what JJ ultimately did was possible for Scotty.
Yeah, I mean, we almost.
Well, if Scotty.
Rahm was sitting there at 4 over, and you're like,
oh, yeah.
Like,
It was
hope
the
he
same
didn't
thing.
fly back.
Well, because Scotty's sitting there at 4 over, and you're going, well, if he shoots 32, gets to 1 over, like 1 over could be the playoff. And for the longest time, it looked like 1 over would have been the playoff. And Scotty, 2 birdies, 2 bogeys on the back, so he obviously kind of faltered. But like he was just lingering enough where you're like, well,
He just didn't make his move. And that
he
happens.
just ultimately didn't make a move.
It's a hard golf course to make a move on, which is, again, why you have to credit JJ for the back 9 that he had on Sunday
for making a move on
32.
17 and 18.
No, but I think ultimately my point in reeling off those names is that the course won, which I think
Yes.
is what we wanted to see. We wanted to see the test. Even with soft conditions, the course still won. Imagine if that place was baked out. Holy cow.
You probably get something that's close to, because Angel Cabrera won it in an 07 at 5 over.
Yeah.
You're probably getting something closer to that.
And, that was fun to see a course not get manhandled by the best in the world. And, man, if we could go there every other year, I'd take it. I had so much fun watching golf.
I mean, at one point, with the final group, Sam Burns made double, and like you still had you were because Sam Burns made double, and you had Adam Scott struggling. Like Adam Scott poured in a bogey putt, and he's gaining on the lead because somebody's making a double. It was spectacular. It was so much fun, and I don't know about every other year, but I'm glad they're coming back here frequently because that type of tests is good every once in a while. We talked about it last week. 14 clubs in the bag and the one between your ears is the mantra of the U.S. Open and the USGA with these top-of-the-line championships, whether it's the men, whether it's the women. That's what you're going to hear Mike Wan and everybody else who is a member of the USGA say. And some guys cracked under that. They absolutely cracked under the pressure of getting tested with the one between your ears.
Top 10 players in the world.
Yeah. We saw Rory fail that test. We saw Bryson fail that test. JT failed that test. Wyndham Clark failed that test in a big way.
Yeah, man. Tough few weeks for Wyndham.
Yeah.
On the personality front.
On the temper tantrum front.
Yeah.
It's one thing to be frustrated. Honestly, this to me is worse than the club throw.
Oh, it's not even close.
For those who don't know, and I know Laying Up is the first one who reported it, Wyndham did some damage to some lockers inside Oakmont after
part of the history and charm of Oakmont is how the history is right in front of you, including the locker room, and he kicked in multiple doors, and that's just inexcusable.
Yeah, like what he and again. I'm not trying to excuse what he did at the PGA too, because like
throwing clubs is
throwing a club the way he did, like. When Max threw a club out in front of him and there's nobody there, to throw a club wildly behind you and almost clip a Marshall and take out a T-Mobile sign, which happens to be one of your partners as well. Like
maybe that was like a good guerrilla marketing scheme, though. But go on.
Yeah. So
ambush
it's like,
marketing,
okay,
is that the right word?
Yeah. So it's like, okay, that's not great, but it's in the heat of the moment. You get it. To be done with your round, to walk to the locker room and not be able to control your emotions, where you do property damage to a historic golf course. That's
Rory had a pretty cool club throw. Threw it in his bag, popped right back to his hand. Even he surprised himself.
Yeah, but again, the club throw like that, like you're not taking anyone. Well, he almost took himself out, but again, you threw the club, it bounces back at you. That's the way it goes.
Yeah.
But a lot of the guys failed the mental test. JJ Spawn did not. Is his drive, because he made the putt, is the drive he hit on 17 underrated?
Yes.
Okay.
The drive he hit on 17 might have been, now his second best shot of the championship.
But it's the shot that won him the championship.
Correct.
Because hitting that shot, it allows him to two-putt, take the one-shot lead into 18, knowing he just needed to make a par to win.
Yeah, I mean, gosh, you could even say his drive on 18, the three-shot combo, putting it 308 yards into the center cut of the 18th fairway with a championship in your hands.
I don't know how many times I saw guys miss that fairway. And not many that they were showing hit the fairway.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah, it was
spectacular performance.
Just out of body. I can't even imagine just like the flow state of what that must have been like for J.J. Spawn to finish those 2 holes in the way he did.
You mentioned Rory McIlroy. We do have to get to Rory and some of the odd comments that he's making. I don't know what's going on with our guy. We'll do that coming up next, but there's watching the Brewers, then there's watching while golfing at X Golf inside American Family Field. Book a sim bundle for $70 per person or go big with the sim double play for $50 per person. That includes a game ticket, 2 premium sims, and seating for your group, just 22 people minimum. Prices are crazy low. Group options are endless. Plus, regulars, grab the $100 season membership for 50% off sim time all season long. Book your game day at X Golf inside American Family Field, open to the public 7 days a week.
No ifs, ands, or puts. There's more On the Tee with Gabe and Steven coming up on 94.5 ESPN.
ESPN Radio Sports Beat with Freddie Coleman.
So what's it going to be? What's it going to be in Game 5 of the NBA Finals? Because we pretty much know anything can happen with this series tied at 2 involving the Indiana Pacers. They won Game 1 and Game 3. And the Oklahoma City Thunder, they won Game 2 and Game 4. It looked really, really bleak on Friday for the Thunder. And then Shai Gilgeous-Alexander had his star moment. So can he do it again? Can Tyrese Halliburton, who wasn't bad, wasn't good, wasn't bad in Game 4? Either way, this series, specifically Game 5, will be determined by the others, the T.J. McConnells, the Pascal Siakams. Oh, yeah, definitely the Jalen Williams, the Alex Carusos, just going down the line of somebody who may want to be a star, but is not a star yet, and they will decide Game 5. And they do decide Game 5, they will decide who's going to win the series. Having a star is great. Having stars are wonderful, but sometimes the others are the difference between winning and losing an NBA championship. In 60 seconds, hey, Shohei Ohtani, the beginning of being special again.
Need assistance with door and window projects? The Home Depot can help. From inspiration and materials to ordering and installation, our free Millwork virtual apron service can get you moving and doing. Plus, we speak Spanish too. Our associates can help you tackle complex jobs without you leaving the job site, saving you time and money. Call us at 1-833-HD-APRON or visit homedepot.com/MVA. The Home Depot, how doers get more done.
There's nothing like when you get that part from eBay and it just fits. Yeah, the first time. So you can do less of this and get right back to more of this. At eBay, you'll find all the parts you need, guaranteed to fit, at prices you'll love. Sounds good, doesn't it? eBay, things people love. Eligible items only. Exclusions apply.
So we get at least one inning of pitching when it comes to Shohei Ohtani because he was hell-bent to be that two-way player that we were used to seeing, had not seen because of the elbow injury, and now he wants to get back to being that full-square dude that we know and love in Major League Baseball. It's also amazing how one guy like this can get everybody's attention because he is that special and he is that great. For my money this year, the best player in baseball has been Aaron Judge of the New York Yankees. But still, the most special player in baseball is that guy on the opposite coast called Shohei Ohtani. He can run, he can field, he can hit, and for damn sure, he can throw. Especially he can throw 98 miles on the mound when he gets out there having a chance to pitch again. And the Dodgers have been really, really smart, just giving us piecemeal and giving him piecemeal options to make sure that he can get right and ready whenever he decides to really let it loose. So tonight could be the beginning of something special with an already special dude known as Shohei Ohtani of the Dodgers. For the ESPN Radio Sports Beat, I'm Freddie Coleman of ESPN Radio's Freddie and Harry.
The Bog in Saukville is Ozaki County's best golf experience. 18 championship holes designed by legendary golfer Arnold Palmer cater to golfers of all skill levels. Settled amongst over 250 acres of beautiful private land, the Bog offers a truly unforgettable golf experience. Play the finest greens of Wisconsin, and after your round, have a signature cocktail while enjoying our Friday fish fry from the clubhouse overlooking the 18th green. It's time to golf, Wisconsin. It's time to enjoy the Bog.
Gabe Neitzel from On the Tee here. There's watching the Brewers, and then there's watching while golfing at X Golf inside American Family Field. Group options are endless. Book a sim bundle with at least 4 people for $70 per person, or go big with the sim double play, a minimum of 22 people for $50 per person. Both include a game ticket, premium high-tech simulators with a view, and seating for everyone right next to Bernie's Slide. Book your game day at X Golf inside American Family Field. Open to all fans in the ballpark each Brewer game.
This is On the Tee with Gabe Neitzel and Stephen Watson on 94.5 ESPN.
what Steven and I did. If you're looking for a great place to play golf, join the Wisconsin Country Club. Now, we love it because of the golf course, which is getting in pretty good shape. It's been a rough spring for everybody. Now with this warm weather, golf course in great shape. Maybe you can go out and shoot a 74 like Steven did.
Hey, summer is starting like this week, right? We're just getting going golf season.
Yeah. And maybe I'll actually see you on the golf course. Maybe I'll see you out at the Wisconsin Country Club.
I hope you get your hope.
Because it's a great challenging course, but also if you're a family man like Steven Watson, tennis, pickleball, pool, all those great things for the family as well. Get started today at thewisconsincountryclub.com, just a fairway away. It is no secret we are big Rory McIlroy fans on this show. It's also hasn't been the easiest to be a Rory McIlroy fan the last couple of weeks, because he decides to step up and say some interesting things, Steven, and saying the quiet part out loud. Like, yeah, I feel like I've earned the right to do whatever I want. Let's go ahead and listen to what Rory McIlroy said after his final round on Sunday.
So transparent with us and very available. Yesterday was 6 majors in a row, rounds, kind of stepped away. Has that been part and parcel to the frustration on the golf course? What do you attribute to it?
No, not really. It's more a frustration with you guys. But yeah,
In what way?
I'm just, yeah, I don't know. I mean, I've been totally available for the last few years, and I'm not saying maybe not you guys, but maybe more just the whole thing, the whole. Yeah, part of I mean, that was a part of it. Yeah, that was a part of it. But it's not as if, like, at Augusta, I skipped you guys on Thursday. So, yeah, it's not as if it's not out of the ordinary. I've done it before. I'm just doing it a little more often.
Is it part of the, you kind of carried the tour with your awards for like 3 or 4 years now? Do you feel like you've earned a break?
I feel like I've earned the right to do whatever I want to do, yeah.
Hard to disagree with that sentiment. I think he has earned that.
Yeah.
However, when you say that part out loud, that's the quiet part, saying it out loud, that's something that I would say is unlikable. And I can understand those who don't like Rory. Now that's ammunition for them to continue to throw that out there.
Yeah, he's becoming a victim of his own transparency. And I think that both can be true in this situation. I think that we've seen instances where Rory is clearly getting fed up with the spotlight and the weight that he has put on himself by becoming the next face of golf. You think about the fan who is trying to mess with him on the tee box during a practice round, and Rory grabs his phone and walks away with it, heckling him about his drive that he hit at Augusta. And then, the weight, even just like watching the way that fans surround him and then the attention that he drew at the PGA Championship and dealing with the driver incident and, the public scrutiny that might come with that situation. It's understandable that the weight has become too much. And I think it's important to remember that these are human beings, not robots. But he also has to be, if he wants, you can't eat your cake and have it too when it comes to talking.
The weird part is, but again, and we talked about this after the PGA, skipping all 4 days. Like, he literally just had to talk for 2 minutes one day, and it's a non-story. It's a non-story. It's a story, but then if he talks on Sunday after the round, like, most of it goes away. Like, because like you mentioned, he skipped Thursday at I don't think Rory needs to speak every day. But we're at a major championship. But yeah, you should probably speak once or twice.
I disagree with you there. I think he needs to speak every day. I think these guys need to be made available every day. Well, and I think it's going to come down to the tour to implement that, because
that's on the new CEO.
That soundbite from Rory, he's clearly very aware of which days he doesn't speak, and that's a problem. I'm not saying that he should be available every day, but in the sense of Monday through Sunday. Mm-hmm. But he has to have his pre-tournament press conferences. That is slated. And I think he has to do a flash every single day, because if he blows you off, then the media is going to eat that up. That is how the media environment works. Mm-hmm. And they build and they build. So you going 4 straight days in a major championship, that is going to build to the point where you can't come back from that. And, I think it's important to know Rory's been a great voice to the game, so I want to see this settle for a week and see what he's like at Travelers.
Coming up next, we had an opportunity to talk with our friends at the Majestic Oaks. We went down there, played some golf. Our conversation from the Majestic Oaks coming your way next on the tee.
Forget about changing that dial. More On the Tee with Gabe and Steven next on 94.5 ESPN. It doesn't matter if it's your first betting slip ever or just the first one of the week. We've got your Potawatomi sportsbook picks covered. Tune in Wednesdays to the Weekly Wager with Greg Matzik, Ben Brust, and Jen Latta.
If someone gives you 10,000 to 1 on anything, you take it.
The Weekly Wager, Wednesday nights at 6, right here on 94.5 ESPN, the Wisconsin On Demand app, and ESPN Milwaukee's YouTube channel.
Want to play your best golf ever? The Wisconsin Country Club just launched WCC Performance Academy, powered by Catalyst Golf Performance and Aritas Physical Therapy. TrackMan, 3D Motion, Miha EMS, everything to move better, feel stronger, and shoot lower scores. Train like a pro or like an athlete. Play pain-free. I'm ESPN Milwaukee's Gabe Neitzel. Become a member at Wisconsin Country Club like I did. No assessments, no minimums, and a beautiful, challenging course and great corporate membership opportunities, plus tennis, pickleball, and a pool. Visit thewisconsincountryclub.com. Just a fairway away.
My house has a new glow. I love my windows. Universal Windows Direct.
Hey, it's Kyle Walton. Right now, UWD is running their home improvement season sale. Payments as low as $99 a month or no payments and no interest for an entire year. Call 414-410-2000 or go to universalwindowsdirect.com.
I love my windows. They've got that brand new home effect. Universal Windows Direct.
Fisco is always there for your auto body care. When accidents happen, Fisco Auto Body on Forest Home in Franklin is there when you need them. Got a broken mirror? They'll take care of it. Dented bumper? Scratch paint? Fisco Auto Body will take care of it. If there's any damage you need fixed, Fisco has you covered. Their expert workmanship is guaranteed for the life of your vehicle. So stop in for all of your auto bumps and dings. Once again, you know the line. That's Fisco.
Milwaukee just got hotter. Announcing the buys of summer at Ewald Automotive Group. Get the lowest prices guaranteed on new vehicles. We'll beat your best price by $500 or we'll pay you $500 cash. Guaranteed. With over 1,500 vehicles to choose, you're sure to find the perfect ride for your family. 11 brands, 10 locations, one easy experience. Don't miss Ewald's Buys of Summer sales event going on now.
Go to ewaldauto.com.
See dealer for details. Expires month end.
Hi, Drew and Jonathan Scott here, reminding you that a lot of life's firsts are better with help from American Family Insurance. Like your first home expansion or your first big lightning strike. There's a first for everything. Get the right home policy at the right price with the right help from American Family's agents. Life's better when you're under American Family's roof. Insure carefully, dream fearlessly. Get a quote and find an agent at amfam.com.
Products not available in every state. American Family Mutual Insurance Company SI and its operating company 6000 American Parkway, Madison, Wisconsin.
Transform the way you do business with Fifth Third Bank's Commercial Payments Solutions. Our market expertise and managed services streamline your entire payment process, seamlessly integrating with your existing systems to give you unparalleled control. Discover new revenue sources, save time, reduce operating costs, and boost your bottom line with our customized payment solutions. Fifth Third Bank, National Association, custom solutions built around your goals. Member FDIC.
The Bud Pavilion's free concert series Wednesday Night Live features The Toys this Wednesday night. Gates open at 6 with music starting at 7. Epic bands, unforgettable nights. It's Wednesday Night Live at the Bud Pavilion at State Fair Park this Wednesday with The Toys.
Station updates, show clips, and your place to interact with us every single day just by scrolling through your feed. Follow along on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram at ESPN Milwaukee. It's On the Tee with Gabe Neitzel and Stephen Watson on 94.5 ESPN.
We were excited to be out here at Lake Lawn Resort to play Majestic Oaks today, Stephen. And with us all day, Brandon McConnell, Chief Commercial Officer with Majestic Oaks, Lake Lawn Resort here. Thank you so much for having us out here, man.
Hey, my pleasure. Thank you guys for making the trip.
So what would you say is the bread and butter of Majestic Oaks?
You know, when we redesigned this course, I mean, the course opened initially back in the early 20s. 1921. We redesigned the course in 1990, and it's gone through a number of iterations. The magic sauce for us, honestly, is the fact that anybody of any level, of any type of golf, whether you think you're Tiger Woods or if you're just starting out, this course is approachable. It's a lot of fun. You get to be on the lakefront, and by the end of your round, you're wanting to come back. You're wanting more.
Approachable, but not necessarily easy. You know, I'll tell you what, there were a couple of shots out there where I was like, this is a big boy golf course.
I mean, you nailed it. I mean, it is a challenge for even the most seasoned of golfer, but it is a lot of fun and a place where you can really just dive in and lose yourself for a few hours, which is what golf's about, right? It's the love of the game. It's how you grew up with it. As being somebody who grew up going out with my grandfather, every time I step out on this course, more than any other course, it flashes me back to that. And we're really excited to see that excitement in the new generation of golfers coming out.
I know a big emphasis is on the family environment out here. I mean,
yeah,
the pool
good.
behind
Yeah,
us.
this is what I have been wanting to talk about, Stephen. We have talked about the $15 for families per person to come out here and play golf. I have not been able to wrap my head around it, and I need Brandon to tell me, okay, so what do you all get? Because, again, I just assumed it was a typo. I mean, I kept reading it, but I assumed it was a typo in the copy you gave us. How much does it cost, and what do you get with your family fun nights?
Yeah, so for under $15 a person, you're getting 9 holes of golf. You're getting your cart. Every person gets something to drink, a snack, and you are out there on our front 9, which is really the picturesque lakefront stretch. And you get to go out there for under $15. I mean, you can't go to a fast food restaurant and eat for under $15. So to be able to go out there, you know, this family fun night, and I appreciate you all giving it a shout out over the last number of weeks, because this season we have seen such an increase in golf. And with what Rory did at Augusta, it's no different than my generation with what Tiger was doing. It builds this new excitement level. And getting everybody out here repetitively, right? It's not, hey, let's try it. You know, it's under $15 and we'll go have fun one night. It is the excitement of the kids' faces, the smiles. And I can't tell you how many kids, guys, have come back with their own clubs that their parents went out and bought them, because they got to go out at this price point that really just opened doors for everyone.
You know how refreshing that is to hear? Truly, I mean that genuinely. Like, we love this game. We started this radio show because we love this game. We also have been fortunate to be playing this game since we were kids, and we had people that inspired us and put golf in front of us, and we were able to create core memories because of this game. Yeah. And what you guys are doing here is you're setting that foundation for these kids. I mean, $15 for a family, like that, you can go to Culver's and spend double that, right?
Absolutely.
Like, that's an incredible deal, and I think that, like, the fact that that's the root of what you guys are trying to do out here, that's pretty unique. That separates you guys. I think that's really special.
Yeah, and we really know where we're at, right? We are blessed to be in an area with some really high-end championship courses, right?
Yeah.
And what we are is that upper mid-scale course that is approachable, that you aren't going to be throwing your clubs, you know, because you get too frustrated. Though I have seen it once or twice, now that I say that. But it is a place where, and we say this about the entire resort, but especially on the course, Lake Lawn and Majestic Oaks, it's where stories, memories are made and stories are relived, right? And where else, and you just highlighted it, you know, for all three of us especially, memories on the course, that's what keeps us coming back.
Yeah.
Talking with Brandon McConnell. He is the Chief Commercial Officer here at Majestic Oaks Lake Lawn Resort. We had a blast out on the golf course with you today. What is your favorite part about the golf course?
It's the balance of the wide open fairways, which make it seem approachable, and you get on these huge dance floors of our greens.
Whoa! I got to stop you there.
Huge?
There are a couple that are bigger.
Did we play the wrong course?
I thought we may have played the wrong course because I thought there were some pretty small ones on the front side.
I would say there's a handful.
A couple that are just real small.
There are a couple tight. You're not wrong. But Kevin Hammond is our superintendent, and he and his team have this course really dialed in, especially with recent weather and coming out of a very interesting weather pattern in the off season. But you can bomb one in the fairway, and once you get to these greens, the cigar rolls, the elevation changes. It's a challenge. So for me, what I love about the course is, again, from the moment you tee off, there's a belief, hey, I can have some fun today. And then by the time on that same hole you're walking off the green, you're like, I might need to rethink my game a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, the name is fitting, too, because there's a lot of beautiful trees on property on top of course, Lake Delavan, which is right behind us here. It's that's enough of a setting to make you want to come back. But the way that the Oaks kind of frame a lot of these golf holes out here, Gabe, is kind of what stood out to me is on the tee box. It's very easy on the eyes. It challenges you. There are a couple of tee shots out there where you actually have to change the club in hand because of how the trees will test you off the tee. And I kind of love that environment of having to use different clubs and try to use as many in the bag as possible. Definitely felt like I got that out here.
Yeah, you'll stand over a shot and rethink, based on how your round is gone. And I think that's a really true sign of a great course, right? That it's not so cookie cutter, that there's deep character to it.
Yeah, and I mean, I had a blast playing it. What is your favorite hole, Majestic Oaks?
I am a partial par 3 guy. So hole 2, elevated tee box, you're hitting right at the lakefront. One of those larger greens. But
the landing area today wasn't very large. It was all the way in the back shelf.
It was. I mentioned our superintendent. Next time I'm not telling them when you guys are coming because I think he tried to challenge you intentionally. But
we won't name names out here, but we know your name, sir. What an incredible. I mean, the course is in great shape. You mentioned the spring. Like a lot of golf courses this time of year are struggling.
Yes.
To find the grass, you would not know that with how lush the greens were out here, how great the grass was. Par 3s out here, no joke, Gabe.
No, and we talk about that a lot, about how I think par 3s can really differentiate a golf course. And, a lot of times you go to a place and it's kind of the same 1 or 2 clubs. That is not the case out here. I mean, we were playing, from the back tees, you take a look at the card and it's like 6,200 yards. You're going, all right, I'm going to take this thing down today. And you've got 230-yard par 3, 210. Like, there's a couple beefy par 3s out there.
I hit a driving iron on a par 3 for the first time since Scotland.
It was fantastic. It was a fantastic shot, too, might I add. Yeah. Playing the slopes perfectly out here at Majestic Oaks.
Need to come back. I feel like a member already.
But Brandon, again, Stephen, I think, was also talking about this. I mean, just kind of looking around and the big, the size of the property, having lunch out here as we're about to just, after the round at the great restaurant. I mean, it's really seems like a very family-friendly approach you guys have at Lake Lawn and Majestic Oaks.
Absolutely. It is a place where you can make a day of it.
Yeah.
Obviously, with the award-winning main lodge that's been around since 1878.
Oh, that's all.
Yeah, just a few years, closing in on 150 years. And we just did a multi-million-dollar renovation of all of the rooms, the meeting spaces, the restaurants. It's really a refreshed step back in time. That's an oxymoron to say, but it really is over 2 miles of lakefront, right? So we talk about family golf nights. You come here, you can enjoy the spa, you can stay the night, you can enjoy dining, you can rent boats and enjoy Delavan Lake, or you can come down for golf and then grab a few cold ones down here at the Lookout or at 1878 and enjoy lunch or dinner to put a bow on a really great family-friendly day.
Yeah. it's rare to see the type of place that can be a day destination and then a destination for a weekend.
Absolutely.
And that's what you guys definitely have here. It's a beautiful property.
I do want to thank you for having us out here today. You also provided Stephen and I with this great Majestic Oaks flag that the entire staff signed. So thank you so much for that.
Let's throw that up in the studio.
Get that thing up and running. But you guys have a tremendous golf course resort here. Thank you so much for having us out today.
Thank you, guys. Much appreciated.
Big thanks to Brandon. Big thanks to everybody out there at Majestic Oaks. LakeLawnResort.com is the website if you want to check it out. Best family nights in the States. We'll be back next week on the Tee. Hey, it's Gabe Neitzel. This is not a drill. If you sink a hole-in-one at X Golf inside American Family Field, you could win the ultimate Brewers prize, a trip down Bernie's slide. Nail the shot, and you and a friend will get game tickets and up to 5 trips down that iconic slide. Yep, golf a hole-in-one, and suddenly you're living every fan's childhood dream. Book your swing at X Golf inside American Family Field, open to the public